waffles, world famous chicken and waffles. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Johnny's world famous chicken and waffles. It's actually open in Glendale.
Yeah, it's open by Westgate, I believe, or Northgate, or whatever area it is.
I only ask because on their website it just has a picture that says coming soon to Glendale, Arizona.
Yeah, I believe. Paige looked it up and said it was open last weekend.
Oh, Friday, March 31st.
Or you know,
Finally, we're
tomorrow.
open in Glendale, Arizona. Yeah, it says Friday, March 31st. They probably did a soft open.
Yeah, probably what it was then, yeah.
Yeah, I'm down to go. Are we going to go see John Wick that day?
I want to, yeah. It's not in Cine 1 anymore.
Okay.
So we're going to have to see it in digital. Obviously,
Okay.
I'm not going to see it in fucking analog, but
I want to see it a play.
Wonder how that would work. Speaking of John Wick, actually, great segue, Joe.
Speaking of plays.
So no spoilers in here because obviously neither of us has seen it. So I don't want to. I haven't read anything with spoilers, so I don't know. But I did read a funny little story about Keanu Reeves giving gifts to the stunt team.
Oh, cool.
So he's known for giving gifts, and he likes to make them memorable. He's done a couple different ones in the past. I don't remember what they are, but for John Wick Chapter 4, he gave the entire stunt team Rolexes.
Nice.
Which obviously isn't the funny part. That's just a nice gift. So not only did he gifted Rolexes, but he made custom shirts for all of them.
Okay.
And basically on the shirt is a kill count. And it's how many times he killed them or they got killed in the movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
So there's 35 different stunt people on it. So he bought 35 different Rolex watches.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. But he put in their death count. So many times they died on film in it. And one of them says died 5 or 6 times doing that step scene alone is one of the captions on the actual and I don't know what that means because I haven't seen the movie, but I'm guessing
Right.
there's a multiple cut scene of a stairs scene where he kills multiple people and probably different shots of the same person over and over again. But one of them actually has, or a couple of them actually have numbers in the 20s.
Wow.
So obviously the kill count's extremely high in this one as well. Because, I mean, if you have multiple shirts with 20s on them, that easily gets into the hundreds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
pretty rad.
Does it show what the shirts look like?
No, there was no photo of him. It was just a story that was done as a profile when they were talking about the different things happening in the movie.
All right.
But I thought it was
It'd be
pretty
cool to
funny.
see what they looked like.
Yeah, I was like, that's actually pretty hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of hilarious, Joe, excellent segue.
Yes, it is.
How much do you love Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
I did enjoy it very well, and I enjoyed the comic a lot as well.
Yeah. So, I know you probably saw what I sent the group earlier, but
I did,
for the folks who aren't part of our text group chat thingy,
which is quite a few.
there's a few people out there that aren't. Scott Pilgrim, the anime is coming to Netflix from not only the movie cast and crew, but the original creators and writer of the movie itself.
That's cool.
So Brian Lee O'Malley is part of it. He's involved in it. They're gonna base the anime on the animation on his art, which is dope. Obviously, because like it's very iconic. But they're gonna expand the universe of Scott Pilgrim as well. So there's not just gonna be an adaptation of the movie / books. It's gonna be they're adding more to it.
That's cool.
Which is pretty rad, if you ask me.
I'm watching the trailer now. Obviously, they don't really show anything. They're just showing what the cast is. But they literally are bringing the cast back. Chris Evans is coming back. Anna Kendrick is coming back. Brie Larson is coming back. It's like, yeah, that makes me even more excited for this thing.
Yeah, man, it's pretty rad. And it even lists Chris Evans.
I did say Chris Evans.
I know. I'm just saying, like, that's fucking cool. Like that Chris Evans is coming back because he loved that doing that movie, as he should, because it was phenomenal and it should get things.
Right.
So that's pretty cool.
I didn't see Thomas Jane though.
Thomas Jane, are you too good to reprise your role as the vegan police?
Right. I hope not.
What's his name? Ding dong, motherfucker. Oh my god, I can't space on his name. The other guy that plays the vegan police with him.
Look, Thomas Jane just played it so well that he there was another guy, but there also wasn't another guy. That's
fair enough. That's mean to say, but that's fair.
I mean, when you're Thomas Jane,
it's true. It's true.
You know, you overshadow people around you.
When you shoot your child in Recent Lover to escape a horrible death from monsters from the mist, you are allowed to be a vegan policeman.
I don't know if it goes that far.
I don't know if that even makes sense.
Nah.
I'll allow it.
You could spin that into a Punisher, though.
It's true. Goes and punishes all the monsters from the mist.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Why? Okay, so who else was it? The person that did the vegan police?
I'm trying to look it up right now. But apparently my Safari doesn't want to pull it up.
World cast.
Been in so many things.
Well, that's just actually the cast. I want to see IMDb. Did he have a name in the movie, or was it just Vegan Police?
I don't even think Thomas Jane had Clifton Clifton Collins Jr. is who I'm thinking about. It's that guy, Joe.
Okay.
He's been in a bunch of things.
I'm sure he has. Good for him.
He was in Pacific Rim. It's in Star Trek.
What did he play in Star Trek?
I believe he was.
Oh my god, IMDb. I don't even see him in here.
Hold on, I'll tell you right now.
Rest of the cast. Oh, there he is. Okay. Cool. Thanks. It lists like the cast. Oh, Bill Hader was in it as well. Oh, he played the voice. But then it lists like the rest of the cast listed alphabetically.
His character's name in Star Trek was Ayle, Ayel.
I have no idea.
One of the aliens, I'm sure. He played the voice of Edgar Allan Poe in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
I never saw that movie.
It was the short film. It wasn't the actual movie.
No, I never saw that short film.
Did you ever read the books, Joe?
Nope.
Okay.
What are books? I have no idea what those are.
What a books.
He was in Veronica Mars, the TV show. Who wasn't in that thing?
I think there are a lot of people.
Super Troopers 2, he played the bus driver.
Yeah. And the greatest opening of a movie sequel ever that had made no sense to the rest of the movie. Or didn't actually play in the rest of the movie. Because it was, spoiler alert, dream sequence.
Okay, I saw Transcendence.
Ugh, yeah, I did too. I saw it on this. I wasn't going to mention it, but that's cool.
Did I see The Blacklist? No, that's the TV series. No. I watched like one episode of that because it has James Spader, and then that was it.
Yeah, he's in a lot. The show's not bad, but it got a little too repetitive. Had a really good premise, but it's one of those things where like this shouldn't have been like a series that lasted a long time because the premise was very short-lived. Once upon a time in Hollywood, he played Ernesto the Mexican Vaquero. I know you remember that movie really well.
Really well.
Yep.
Same thing with the Boondock Saints 2, All Saints Day.
Yeah, he plays he plays their little friend guy. That's why I said ding dong motherfuckers, because he kept trying to come up with a catchphrase. In that one scene, he kept
vaguely
replaying it.
remember him.
Yeah.
He was in The Shield, one of the greatest series ever made.
The Shield is pretty good.
It's one of the greatest TV shows ever made.
It's true. Joe said it, so it's true.
I did say it, therefore it is true.
See, there it is. He played Hernan.
Yeah, I don't remember that character at all.
Yeah, well,
probably somebody that Anthony Mackie killed, or
Yeah.
not Anthony Mackie. Wow, now I'm spacing on his name. The main characters, or at least the actor.
Michael.
Chickless.
There you go. Could have called him Ben Grimm too. I'd have accepted that.
Yeah.
He was also in The Stand, the miniseries that was on Paramount Plus.
That's cool.
Peacock. I don't remember. Westworld. He was in that.
Yeah, but which season?
So he was in season 1 and 2, and he guessed in season 3. He was the dude that the man in black was torturing. He lived in a little Mexican family.
Okay.
There's like something was buried there or something like that.
He was in Menace to Society.
Oh yeah, brother.
Played Vato 2.
Yeah. That was back in the day for sure. Anyways, that's Clifton Collins Jr. He's dope. He's been in a lot of stuff. Clearly, because we just rattled off like a handful of shit.
Oh my god, he was in the Flash movie. Or, sorry, TV series.
The OG one?
1990 Flash series.
The fuzzy Flash series?
Fuck yes, one of the greatest Flash TV series ever.
I mean, I can't say you're incorrect because there's only
Can we get
2.
this Flash also in the Flash movie?
We don't know yet, man. It's not out yet.
I'm just asking if we can.
Speaking of the Flash movie, Joe, excellent segue. So the other day, Paige and I were out. I believe we were at Target because we go to Target 3 or 4 times a week.
Well, yeah.
So we were walking by. We always go and look at the pops from Pop Finals from Funko, and they had put out a bunch of the Flash ones, and they had the evil Flash. By the way, if you don't know, he's in the movie. That's just there. They had Michael Shannon's General Zod, and they had Wonder Woman.
Interesting. Okay.
And I was like, well, that's weird.
It was officially for the Flash movie, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It has the Flash logo. If you flip it on the back, she's on the back with the other cast members. And I was like,
way to ruin things, Funko Pop.
Well, turns out her cameo is actually cut from the movie. Apparently.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Funny.
So
Sucks.
I wasn't gonna. I don't know if this is a spoiler or not because I don't know if this article is.
Is that going to be a collectible now?
That's what I was getting at. Is basically this article from Uproxx, which actually is an article from Collider, because Uproxx doesn't write any of their own fucking shit apparently.
Well, I love that when you're like reading an article and they're like citing another website, and you're like, why didn't I just go to the other website to read that original article?
Yeah, Apple News is on there, so I was like, oh, that's the first one I saw. So basically, that I guess there was there's an early rumor from what I read that she appeared in that too because they were going to have it merge with not merge, but basically have it linked to Shazam too. By the way, spoiler alert, she makes a cameo in Shazam 2. Fear of the Gods, and that was gonna be like kind of like a cool little like link between them, other than the fact that like Ben Affleck is also in this movie, but it's just another link because we don't know technically where Shazam falls into the bigger picture of the former DC EU because of the fact that nobody had shown up in the movies either way. You know what I mean? Like a body double for a Superman showed up in it. Anyhow, so I guess that was supposed to be like kind of a cool like little thing where it's basically just like a bigger world. Obviously, like the Flash movie is a multiverse type fun little jaunt with Michael Keaton's Batman coming back, Michael Shannon's General Zod, as I mentioned earlier, and apparently Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. But apparently, according to Ben Affleck, it was revealed that her cameo was cut from the movie. Now there's no, I don't, again, this article, and I didn't go to Collider to see if they had any more info, but this article is saying that she's not in the final cut. So I don't. Yeah, and it's weird too. I realize toys obviously are made way in advance. That's why they spoil a lot of things, because people don't know how to actually pay attention to what they're doing. But yeah, so when I saw that, I wasn't gonna share it. I was like, I'll just keep this under my lid because I know we're all kind of excited to see the Flash movie, to see what it's like. So I wasn't gonna really bring it up. But I guess I could. I'm going to now because I don't know if it's true or not. But I don't think it really alters the movie. You know, it's not one of those like, oh, the fucking Flash is actually Batman's son type spoiler. That's not real, by the way. I made that up just now. Don't
awesome
freak out.
True.
It'd be weird if it did come true, but I just made that. It just popped into my head and I said it out loud. So that would be like a spoiler, right? Like that's like a real spoiler. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman making a cameo is not really. I don't consider that a spoiler. But it's interesting that I saw that, and then a little bit later, apparently her scene was cut from the movie. So, and I don't know. This article doesn't say what her scene was going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
It obviously again makes me think about what is the future that they plan for this series. Because if they were planning these cameos and they were planning these crossover events, it's like, were they still planning on what is your plan now? Because obviously they had plans for continuing the series as a whole, but with James Gunn taking over and doing his own thing, it still makes me wonder what their plans are now for the current properties that they have in the pipeline for these. Obviously, the Flash movie's almost done. It's being said that it's a really good movie. You know, are they going to continue things, or are they just going to quietly drop doing that whole thing? And especially with Henry Cavill probably not coming back as Superman either.
Yeah, no. I don't know, because in the release, James Gunn release or like press conference thingy, where he announced the first 10 plus projects and all this stuff on January 31st of 2023. For people who are listening to this in the way future, we thank you for listening. He mentioned that like he set out like these are the movies that are coming out. Obviously, you know, you have Shazam, Fear of the Gods, The Flash, Aquaman 2, Blue Beetle, all still coming out. He did not mention that those are direct tie-in, or they would be a direct tie-in. Like those characters may not move forward, but he didn't mention if they were going to move forward or not move forward. But he mentioned the Flash is their way of resetting things.
Right.
So begs...
you're saying it still could be, you could still have Gal Gadot Wonder Woman movies, you could still have Jason Momoa Aquaman movies, although we get rid of Henry Cavill's Superman and probably go with a different Batman as well. Yeah.
And they may or may not be in like the larger in like DCU. They could be Elseworlds tales.
Yeah.
Because we just don't know. I mean, and I think, I'm not saying I know James is doing, because I don't. But I could see it where James would steer clear of those characters for a little bit if he doesn't decide to move forward with them as those characters. Because he did mention, now the promising thing I was going to bring up about Jason Momoa is he said that Jason Momoa will not play two characters in the DCU. Because there was rumors that, and it's been stated by Jason Momoa, he would like to portray, I can't talk, Loki, I was going to say Loki, Lobo, in a live action movie. And obviously Lobo's a DC character. But James came out and said no, flatly, no, he will not be playing a secondary character. Does that mean he's not going to play Lobo at all? Or does that mean he's going to stay as Aquaman?
Right.
Or does that mean he doesn't get a chance to play Lobo at all, but an Aquaman is no longer him or whatever? You know what I mean? He's not, like, does not saying he's in it or not in it. He's just saying that he's not going to play two different characters in the DCU.
Yeah.
So. But the last thing on this article, before we move forward, unless you have anything else to talk about the Flash, is the quote that Ben Affleck gave about working on the Flash, and it is a very Ben Affleck quote, and is very promising if you ask me, but you don't have to ask me. He said, he basically called the Flash, best shit I've done as Batman. I finally figured out how to play the guy. I know I quit, but I got it now.
That is very reassuring.
It is, right? Like, it seems because he was very dejected about being Batman because of all the different things that are happening, which we now know was all studio shit going on, and the fact they
obviously it was studio shit, and on the other hand, you had those fucking haters that just hate everything and hated him for being Batman as well. Even though I think he played a very good Batman and a very good Bruce Wayne, a very good older version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he has that, like, confident swagger you can definitely get that you need for a Bruce Wayne. And he had that. He was able to play a very broken down Batman, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, this
older,
well weathered, you know, things like that. And I said this to Mike the other day. I think was it at lunch or through text? I can't remember what it was. Anyways, I was like, after we saw that the last trailer for the Flash, where we actually saw more of everything, and you see him essentially freeway skating behind the car that he grappled to, and I was like, bro, I'm in. Like, I don't care if that's 5 seconds of the movie. I'm in, because that shit looked ridiculous, and that's what I want Batman to do. You know what I mean?
The implausible.
Yeah, because, like, the Flash, unlike Batman, the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, or even as of we know right now, the Matt Reeves Batman movies, they're more realistic, grounded. They're you know, he's more of a dude in a suit.
Definitely.
But with the Scott Snyder one, it was in that whole universe, the DCEU, it was all more fantastical, right? You had the superpowered people, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, obviously Batman, just a dude in a suit with money and brains. But he did fantastical shit. You know, he dove fucking headlong into trouble and said, fuck it, you know, I'll eat myself in there and see what happens. He had a car that had fucking rockets and missiles and a fucking, you know, just effing shit up left and right. I don't know why I censored fucking, but whatever. And that kind of stuff, you know, where in of course, one of Mike's favorite scenes from the Batman v Superman is when he gets a knife stabbed into his armor and he pulls it out and then, like, re-stabs the guy with the knife. That's like a super, like, aged Batman move. Like, he's like, fuck it, it's not gonna kill you, but it's gonna ruin your fucking weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also, like, why would you stab me? I'm fucking Batman, dude. Like,
right.
Like, the dude with the flamethrower doesn't even have a chance, and you think you're gonna get me with a fucking knife? Come on, brother. Come on, brother. And then he proceeds, like, throw a guy, like, face plant a guy through a fucking crate, and then, like, blow the floor out and, like, jump a bunch of dudes down to the floor while dodging bullets and shit. Like, that's the kind of stuff, like, we all love from Batman comic books. And then Scott, of course, brought that, or Zach brought that into the fucking, the DCEU with his movies. So when I see that kind of shit where he's, like, fucking freeway skating behind a fucking car, I'm just like, yeah, dude, let's go. Fuck it.
Right.
Anyhow, that's all I had about the Flash movie.
It is funny that you do mention pop finals, though, because I did save one article. It's just a side little thing to talk about. But we know that they pop final or pop recently. Funko, there we go.
Yep.
Opened up a warehouse out here in Arizona.
Yep.
And they were having all those sales and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they have so much shit, even in the new warehouses, that they're just throwing it away.
Yeah, I saw that article. And it's like a tax write-off thing for something or other.
Yeah, there's that, and then also because it's according to this article from Kotaku, it's $30 million worth of Funko Pops going into a landfill, and they actually show pictures. So like somebody was taking pictures of it. They're saying that it's actually cheaper for them to just throw these things away, and they don't just throw them away. By the way, apparently they get shredded first.
Yeah.
So it goes to a landfill. The landfill shreds. They just yeet these boxes into a giant shredder.
Hell yeah.
It shreds everything, and then they sort it for recyclables. But they say it's actually cheaper for them to just throw away the stock that they have and make new ones, because it'd be more expensive to just have this stuff sit around in a warehouse somewhere.
Huh.
It's just ridiculous to think that there's $30 million worth of pop vinyls just being thrown away.
Yeah, because you think, like, even if you went to, like, recuperate some money, right? Like,
right?
Sell them for, like, 50 cents or whatever.
Just get something out of it. Throw them up on eBay and see what people will pay for them.
Yeah, like, I know it eats up space and whatever, right? But, like, you have a fucking warehouse. Like, you can probably fucking put them in a corner and let them collect dust while they slowly sell. But you could do one of those things where, like, you could just sell them, like, as a grab bag, fucking throw in there, and, like, a incentive, you know? Like, yeah, they're probably fucking garbage, like BTS fucking pops or whatever, you know? Like, people don't want or whatever.
Listed here was Jurassic Park. So it says everything from Jurassic Park to the Netflix animated comedy Agretsuko and Harry Potter. What? So I'm sure there's tons more, but yeah.
Yeah, that's some fucking bullshit right there.
It also just blows my mind of, like, why even make this many? It seems very irresponsible to make this many at once.
Yeah, it's a pretty ridiculous thing.
Oh, that's right. They also said a lot of them are the what's that game that they have? They have that pop vinyl game where it comes with, like, 3 little pops.
Oh, yeah. It's like the little... It's almost like a... Yeah, I have the Harry Potter one somewhere.
Yeah, it's also a lot of that game as well. And something about Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh.
Jack Skellington Santas.
Oh, my God. I have one of those. That's in the other room, I think.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I read about that a while ago. It
just blows my mind about how wasteful that is.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, this is what really got my goat about that whole thing is, they're sending to a landfill. They're not even recycling it.
No.
So you're trying to tell me you can't recycle that into materials you're going to use in other stuff?
They probably can't, because once they paint it, that paint would be on the plastic or something. Like, I don't know. I don't know how that, obviously there's material science involved in a lot of that stuff. Maybe you can't just melt down that plastic and reuse it.
Well, that's horseshit. But if
you could, then why don't you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's some horseshit. That's some fucking eco-terrorism bullshit. Like, Captain Planet's gonna come after you. You know what I mean?
But, you know, again, it probably just boils down to cost. Like, they would have to then buy the equipment in order to maybe sandblast these things and then remelt them down. And it's just like, it's more cost effective for us to literally just throw these in a landfill and shred them.
Yeah, that's fucking trash. Hot garbage trash is what that is.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so that was my link to the Funko Pop thing.
Also, did you hear? Do you know what Mondo is?
I've heard of Mondo.
They do like posters and collectibles and stuff.
Yeah, I get an email from them every once in a while, and I always ask myself, why am I getting this?
Don't worry, you're not going to get them anymore.
What did I sign up for that is giving me Mondo posters and stuff?
So I think, actually, to tell you where you probably got that from, is both you and I bought a poster from them at Comic-Con years back.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, and I don't remember what it was because I have so many posters that aren't even...
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I don't know what it is either because I have so many posters from Comic-Con.
Yeah, but I do know that's probably what it was from, because they used to do a lot of, like, different genre-based posters for different movies and stuff like that. And I think we signed up because we had a chance to win, like, a Batman poster, a fucking Star Wars poster, some bullshit, or whatever, right? Anyhow, the reason you're not going to be getting that stuff anymore is In 2021, I think it was, Funko actually bought them.
Oh, okay.
And that's not the reason why you're not getting those emails anymore. You're not getting those emails because they're closing it down.
So they bought up Mondo, only to close it down.
Yeah. So and it's very weird, because like everyone's like, why is this happening?
Well, yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I'm trying to find the thing about it. Oh, I'm sorry. It was back in June of 2022 that Funko purchased Mondo from Alamo Drafthouse, in the hopes that they were high that Funko would allow Mondo to take things to a whole new level. Well, guess what?
Well, they took it to a whole new level, I guess.
Yeah, they're shuttering that whole thing. Unceremoniously lay off most of the staff of Mondo. Yeah, just fucking goodbye.
Well, that's dumb. I hate when companies do stuff like that.
Yeah. Here's the thing too. Well, this is funny that you bring up the whole thing about Funko. Earlier this month, Funko revealed that it's suffered a loss in its fourth quarter of 2022, and it would be destroying between 30 million and 36 million worth of inventory and laying off 10% of its staff. The Wrap has learned that much of those cuts landed at Mondo. Yeah.
Wow.
So
what you're also saying is they might have a sale on here sometime.
maybe.
Or I can buy something really cool for maybe cheaper.
Oh, this article here is updated from when I saw it the other day. It says, we're hearing that Funko is still planning on continuing Mondo's movie poster division, despite earlier reports to the contrary. Stay tuned for more info as we learn it.
Okay, so
that's a little better, I guess.
Possibly rolling it into something else.
Yeah, so that
makes a little bit more sense.
It does suck that they shit canned all those people, but at least we're still getting Mondo stuff, I guess.
Yeah. Now it really just makes me wonder, what Mondo did I buy?
I don't know. I have a couple of their posters, not in the room I'm sitting in right now, because like there's not a whole lot of rooms on the walls in this room for posters. Other than the Star Wars trilogy poster from Best Buy, end cap that I stole years ago, liberated, recycled. I don't know what you want to call it.
Liberated, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say liberated.
They didn't steal it because it has no value. You know what I mean? It's not like stealing it because there's no.
They were gonna throw it away anyway.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, yeah. I'm not. This is not going into a landfill. This is going into my house because I really want Spider-Man 3 giant. You remember those four panel skylight things that they used to hang from the ceiling? Yeah, so I have the Spider-Man 3 and also John Cougar Mellencamp.
Those are two very bizarre things that definitely point to Joe.
Well, my mom likes John Cougar Mellencamp. I like John Cougar Mellencamp as well, but I got it for her.
That's true. I do.
She also has the Spider-Man 3.
I do enjoy me some John Cougar Mellencamp. I enjoy John Cougar as well. Or John Mellencamp. What's one? He goes by another name too. It's John Cougar Mellencamp and John Mellencamp, right?
I think it's just John Mellencamp, yeah.
But I think he released stuff like under both names, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I have actually
a lot of posters that I've purchased over at Comic-Con, and I'm actually wondering where they are right now.
They're in tubes. I can see one tube that I can't get to right now because it's buried by Lego boxes. I know that doesn't shock you.
Because I remember there was a Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. There was a Metroid done up as Full Metal Jacket. I kind of want to find these now. Shit, where are these? I think they might be in my closet.
Yeah, I have poster tubes full of shit like that all over my house.
It just sucks. Like, I have those really cool posters, but it's always so expensive to get them like properly framed.
Yeah, in a really good, nice, decent frame. Right.
Because the posters themselves aren't really anything that like unique and special. Like a couple of the ones that I have, all of the Indiana Jones one that you gave me, or the Saga one that I have here. Like those are the two framed ones that I have, sentimental and actual value wise. But yeah, the other ones are like, I just remember like, they're $15-$30. Like I don't want to go spend $70 on a frame for a $15 to $30 picture that just is really cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just don't want one of those plasticky frames that you can just go buy over at Walmart.
Yeah. Not something at least decent.
Something decent. Maybe I'll look into that again, but I have to find those posters first.
I'll give you 2 places you can go to get decent frames for a pretty cheap price.
Good, because I remember they closed down that frame place that we used
They
to
moved it, actually.
Oh, they moved it?
Yeah, it's further down, or further north on 83rd.
Okay.
I found that out not too long ago, and I forgot to mention it to everybody. Well, you and I are the only ones who really care about it,
Probably
but
the only ones that have been there, and I purchased stuff from there.
yeah, but the Paradise Valley or Paradise Frame Company, I believe it's called.
Is it the same company that owns the burgers and?
No, I thought it was, and I was like, "Dang, that's
that'd be awesome."
Burgers, pizzas, and frames.
Valley Burger Company, Paradise Valley Pizza Company, Paradise Valley Frame Company.
Yeah, I think it's just called Paradise Frames. I threw the valley in there because there's so many things called Paradise Valley in this fucking state.
There is.
Anyhow, so Michael's has really good frames because we got your Indiana Jones one, right?
That's where we got the one framed, the Saga one.
But also
the Indiana Jones one. We got the Indiana Jones one framed there.
Yeah. But Hobby Lobby.
Oh, I never thought of them as a place to go get frames.
Bro, wild. It's like a whole area that nobody ever goes to. So they have an area where you can buy frames, but then they have a framing area, like custom frames you can get done there too. And they usually have coupons online you can get, just like Michael's does. But a lot of times they have sales too, so you can like buy 2 frames, get 1 free, and they're all custom frames.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
So just another little. Hey,
maybe
check them out.
If I find those and I can look up how much frames are, get something for fairly cheap. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I also forgot to tell you, I didn't buy it yet. I know they have it still. Remember the Alex Ross Fantastic Four book?
Yeah.
It's finally out, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Barnes & Noble has it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
like
we're hanging out Saturday, so we might as well go to a couple places.
Okay. You talked me into it. I have a gift card burning a hole in my pocket still, so.
Because, as I told you before, I was seriously thinking about buying one of the Indiana Jones Lego sets, and if they sell them over at Target, I'll probably go to Target too.
When do those come out?
April 1st.
Oh, which happens to be
Saturday.
Okay, well, yeah. Weird.
Yeah. So we can hang out a little bit for the day and go get a book, maybe go get some Legos, go to a movie, go get some food over at, what was the place called again?
Johnny's world famous chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles. Yeah. Make a nice day out of it.
Yeah. We just can't be out too late because WrestleMania Day 1 is Saturday, so.
I'm fine with not being out too late either. I don't remember if I told you that I took next week off, so that's the first day of my days off. So.
Oh shit!
I want to start vegging out as much as I can.
That's fair.
Right.
Weird. John Wick is a fucking featured movie on Fandango. What's the earliest we can see John Wick? That's actually very convenient. I really don't want to go there though. Ooh, but that works too. There's a 9:35 a.m. Is it in a closet
over
though?
At the Harkins in Goodyear, Avondale, wherever that is.
Yeah, the
Estrella Falls.
Estrella Falls one. Yeah, I'm trying to see why wouldn't it show me. What the fuck? What now? Okay. So maybe not a 9:45 there. What the hell is that about?
I have no idea.
Yeah, sorry. They listed 9:35, but when you click on check seats, it doesn't show anything. You click on it says, we don't know what's happening here.
There might be seats. There might not be seats.
Yeah.
There actually aren't any seats. It's just an empty auditorium where they removed all the seats. You just bring a blanket and you sit down anywhere.
It's interesting.
It's like picnic style.
So apparently, yeah, that time doesn't exist there. But whatever. Anyways, there's a 10:15, and the movie is damn near 3 hours, so that would be a chunk of the day. So I want to go to an earlier one so we could see the movie, grab some food, and then like
hang out for just the few things that we want to go do, and then get home. But we can look at it later.
Okay. I don't want to see.
I should say you can look at it later because I have to work and you have the day off, so you can look at it later.
That's true. I do have the day off, and you have to work.
Yeah.
Speaking of work, Joe. Matt Reeves or Mike Flanagan has pitched a movie for Clayface, and there's rumors that Clayface may make a larger role or have a larger role in Batman 2. Matt Reeves' Batman 2.
Interesting.
So
okay.
I didn't really read the article. I just thought that was a cool thing to bring up. It has nothing to do with work, but that's how my segues work most of the time. But that's pretty cool. The real thing I want to talk about is, are you going to dust off your Switch to play the new Zelda game?
I tried to dust off my Switch to play the original Zelda game. Not the original Zelda game, but the Breath of the Wild, like 3 days ago, and I realized that it hasn't been charged in like 2 months, so it was dead.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Pages was the same way. It was dead as fuck.
Yeah.
So the game comes out in May.
Okay.
Is that right? Am I correct? May 12th?
I don't remember. The only thing that I remember about the new game coming out is a weird pre-order bonus that they have over in Japan. I think it was just Japan, where you can pre-order and get a let me see if I can find this real quick because it is in my saved things. Fork and spoon.
What now?
Yeah. So Japan's Zelda Tears of the Kingdom pre-order comes with a fancy spoon and fork that say The Legend of Zelda on them.
Okay.
Yep.
Sure. Why not?
Yep.
Anywho, so the reason I bring this up is because it comes out May 12th. Unless you buy the pre-order the OLED bundle they have coming out, because you actually get it April 28th, and the game will be playable apparently.
Okay, cool. The bundle, the actual OLED Switch version looked pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty dope. I just don't want to spend $340 or $360 on a new Switch for no reason.
No, not at all.
But so they just released. I don't know if you probably didn't watch it, but they had the producer dude come out and he talked about new features and some of the things about the game. And they have like all these new abilities that Link has for some strange reason in the game. I'm sure the game explains it. But it's things like he can merge things together to make new weapons. It's called fuse.
Okay.
So if you have a stick and you have a boulder, you can merge them to a giant club, and it just looks like a stick with a fucking boulder on the end of it. I'm sure it has other uses down the line, as like you can like fuse the Master Sword or whatever with something and make it a better Master Sword, I guess. I don't know. But it makes the item more durable and last longer because it still has that braking function to it. But he has that one. He has Ascend, which is like this power to like go through the roof of something. Like if you're in like a cave, you can actually use it to go through and get to the top of a mountain.
Okay.
Very weird traversal thing, but whatever. And then I highly recommend watching the video, and I'll send it to the group chat if you haven't looked it up already. But the game, I didn't think the game could get any bigger from the first one, because the first one's a pretty massive game. Like it's a lot. There's a lot in that game for running on a Switch.
Yes.
I know
there
it seems like a dig on the Switch, but like the Switch isn't really known for power.
Right.
And like even like Fortnite has problems right now, and we'll get to that in a minute if we want to talk about it. But like the game was like there's no loading in it for the most part, other than when you go into one of the dungeon thingies. But like the entirety of the map, which is massive, and you can traverse it all from the beginning. There's not even like the only place you can't go right away is Hyrule Castle because it's blocked by story reasons. And then other things you can't get into, like one city that's only ladies, so you have to like dress in drag, which I'm pretty sure even that game can't be played in like Australia and certain states now. But
Right.
you so like little things like that, but for the most part, as long as you can get to it, you can go there. You can climb the mountain as long as you have stamina or find a way up there. All those different things. Well, in the new one, they have what they were just mistakenly call Sky Islands. And I say that because you can just call them Skylands.
That's what I was thinking too. As soon as you said it.
Yeah, it's the dumbest thing ever. I realize there's probably like a name for it, in like Japanese or whatever, right? But like in American, they call it Sky Islands, and I was like, bro, it's called Hyrule,
Skylands.
right? Why don't you start making fucking other words up? Skylands. It just rolls off the tongue. Sky Islands is just too hard to fucking say over and over again. But Skylands sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so the Skylands, as I will refer to them forever, are massive as well, and they're just fucking in the sky. And you can transition effortlessly with one of the other powers he actually has, where he can like basically it's called recall, where he can reverse an object's motion. And in the trailer, they show this like block fall from one of the Skylands, and he uses it on it, and it goes back up into the sky, and he uses that to get to one of the Skylands. And I was like, well, that's actually pretty cool. It's like a weird little make your own elevator. So like they have that, and like there's a couple other things they show in there that it's like they're like, we don't want to spoil everything, but hey, look at these cool new things. And he's got like this weird tattoo on his arm now. I don't know,
Okay.
like long hair. It's very bizarre. And obviously you can change his clothes. You probably change his clothes like you could in the first game. So the clothes they're showing him with like the leotard and the weird Icarus boots probably have to do with the story. And I'll figure it out May 12th. Or around there, whenever I actually play it or whatever.
Did you
But
finish the first one then?
I beat the first one years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I even started replaying it and stopped into it. I didn't do all the stuff in the game. I ended up beating the story. And there's other stuff to collect and unlock that I never went back and got. That's why I went to play it again, and I was like, oh, this is way too much work.
It really is.
Because there's a lot in that game. This one, what's cool is it's still Hyrule, but like Hyrule's changed. And I don't know the story beats of how long it's been since this version of Link has awoken, but you can see elements of the Hyrule from the first game, from Breath of the Wild, but then the terrain has changed. It's you watch the trailer. I'll send it so you can do it. And the other thing too, it cracks me up. They do this. They show dude. I don't know his name, Mr. Anama or whatever his name is. I don't know how to say his name. Who's one of the producers of the Legend of Zelda franchise? They show him talking and he's not speaking English. And they have this voiceover, and I hate it every single time. Like I get it, like because it just doesn't match up. Like it just they don't want to put subtitles on the screen because people are probably lazy or whatever. But it's like, don't even show them at that point. Just have a voiceover talking about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just a weird thing to me. Just like because the voiceover person doesn't sound anything what you think his voice should sound like, the dude. Like, and it's just weird because they show him talking, and it's just like this. It doesn't sync up at all because obviously different language. But also like he starts talking before the narration starts. So like, I don't know. It's very weird. It just bothers me in a weird way.
Okay, I think I can understand though.
Yeah, it's stupid, I know, and it's nitpicky, but it just show the gameplay trailer, and they show him he's like, I'm gonna play it, and they don't show they show him pick up a controller, then it just cuts to like gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know if it's actually him playing or if like someone else is like doing that for him too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that I really want to watch him play the game. Like that's just dumb. That's why I don't use Twitch for those things because I don't like that. But like watching someone, like I watch someone play video games all the time, but I'm talking like physically watch them play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, the game looks pretty dope. A lot of cool things. You should. I'll send the thing over so you can watch it and just see how massive the fucking world is, and the fact that the seamless transition from like the ground to the sky, and the fact you can just yeet off of a skyland and just
Mm-hmm.
dive to the ground.
Yeah, I've seen one of the trailers, not that one that you were talking about, but I've seen one of them showing the Sky Islands and whatnot.
The
It does look pretty
skylands.
cool. I will say that with this, Nintendo also well, released. Apparently, when they did the original Breath of the Wild, they obviously had different like collectible versions of it. One of them came with a explorer's guide, and they released that as a PDF. I think on their website, thecomicbook.com has a link directly to it, so I don't know exactly where it is. It says zelda.com / Breath of the Wild assets, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, it's pretty interesting to look through. So they're really ramping up for this game to come out.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be pretty rad.
I just have to finish the first one. I know exactly where I left off. Funny enough, you mentioned right where I left off, which is I have to get into the Gerudo village, but I already know where the costume is or the disguise is, but they were like, it costs 600 rupees in order to buy the disguise, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I just spent a shit ton of rupees over in what's the rock people called?
Goros.
The Goro village, because I needed heat protection
Goro.
to finish
Right?
that area. And I spent all of my rupees over there. When I get here, you're like, no, you need to have rupees in order to just get in here. And I'm just like, man. And that's where I turned it off and was like, I'll come back to this later when I feel like grinding to get money. And I never went back to it until a couple days ago, where I was like, you know what, I could play a little bit, and then I forgot my Switch hasn't been charged since then. So yeah, it's charged now. I just haven't felt like playing it. Maybe next week I'll try and play more of it. Whatever. But speaking of video games, unless you have more that you want to talk about, because we don't have much time left here.
No, good.
I'm sure that you probably finished this. I don't think I finished this. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin, the comic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is being turned into a video game.
Really?
Yep. This comes from Geek Tyrant. There's not a whole lot about it. Not so much of like when they plan on releasing it or anything like that. It just states that they are aiming for a God of War style gameplay. Now, I don't know. I wish the article would clarify a little bit, because it says that the video game will be more of a third-person action RPG similar to God of War. Is that the original God of War, or is that the new God of War? Because it is both 3D, third-person action, but they are kind of still a bit different.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see which one they go with. I kind of hope the newer one. I like that gameplay a lot better than the original one. It says other items we know about the game is that it's possible for other characters to be playable in flashbacks, and it's being developed by an unnamed studio with the goal of releasing in a few years as an ambitious AAA video game. So it's still ways away, but it's just interesting that they are already announcing that they are working on turning that property into a video game.
That's cool, because the flashbacks would be pretty dope. Well, some of them will be very traumatic for some of us.
Very, right? So I'm hopeful, but very skeptical at this point that it's actually going to get fully made. This seems like that type of project that they're announcing and then it's going to get scrapped later on.
Yeah, it's like saying that, in a few years because it's an ambitious blah blah blah. Just makes me think that they want to get enough of it where a major studio would pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's a great plan to go through and do. But you know what? If you think you can keep up production costs without actually releasing anything or having a major studio behind you, good for you. Hope it works out, because I will play that game if it's any good.
If it's any good, day one, bam, buying it. Because I've loved what I've read so far of The Last Ronin. I just haven't finished reading it yet.
Speaking of which, also available at Barnes & Noble, not a sponsor, is the hardcover collection of that one.
Maybe I'll have to pick up that too.
And it's oversized like the books were, so that's cool.
That is cool. I like that. That was it for me, basically.
I think that's all I had too. Some other random shit that don't really mean much of anything. Yeah, I think that's it for this week's episode of Comes Naturally, which stars
Joe
and Cody. And as usual, you fuckers just came naturally.